What I'd like to do in answering this is describe one of our first students. I saw him first on Carte Blanche. I'm not a Carte Blanche fan. I don't watch Carte Blanche, but I was compelled to watch it one evening for whatever reason, and I came across the story of Innocent. Innocent had been part of a column moving out of Kigali, Rwanda, and was attacked. He and his brother fled into the bulrushes at the river. He never saw his brother again. He walked from there through the DRC, through Angola, through Namibia, and into South Africa. He was shot along the way. He was abused. When he arrived in South Africa, he stuttered continuously. He couldn't really formulate a sentence. He was taken in by a church group, and I met him when he was in his second year of varsity. He'd run out of money, or the church group had run out of money. He didn't know how he was going to complete his studies, and he was studying to become an electrical engineer through WITS. We gave him a bursary. He's continued studying. He passed. In his third year, he did something that we don't like in our bursary, and that's fail a subject. The idea behind that is some people take varsity and go party instead of apply themselves, so we build that mechanism in. And essentially, if you fail a subject, we reserve the right to boot you off the program. He apologized to us in writing and asked if he could present to us why he had failed. And it was the first step in a journey for us to realize and learn from the process as well that not everybody enjoys the same sort of lifestyle that we take for granted. And he failed a subject in computer science where he had to develop a computer game. And he failed because he had never seen a computer game in his life before. And what irritated me was that nobody at the varsity who must have known his background had taken the time out to show him a computer game, mentor him, or whatever else was necessary. So we stepped in and did that. And we gave him extended the bursary. He went on to get his honours in electrical engineering, and today is a fully qualified, productive electrical engineer out in the world. So building on that, what do we look for? Firstly, we are a bursary of last resort, which means people need to have applied somewhere else to get funding before approaching us. We want to be that entity that grants people their wishes when they cannot get it anywhere else. We target people at the upper end of the academic spectrum. So A students, B students, typically. It's not to say we won't take on a C student, we have, but they must be very deserving for some other reason in other areas. We look at people who have had a really tough life. One of our students, for instance, lived in a garage. The toilet was an outhouse. That's how he lived his life, okay? And we became a beacon of hope for him. We look for students who've had that hard life, but in the process have become strengthened and have fortitude to carry on when life gets tough, because life is tough. It's not an easy ride. We also look for students who sort of know what they want to do. There are a lot of people who come out of school today who don't have a clue as to where they want to go in life. So we do require somebody who has a passion for following a particular pursuit, and we test that. And then lastly, we look for somebody who understands the concept of paying it forward. And we ask them to write a story for us. And in the story, explain how they're going to pay it forward. And in that, we grasp what they can do. Now, we've tripped up along the way. We've learned as we've gone along, but we've been doing this since 2003. We've got something like 16 students in the process, 12 of which have degrees. 8 of those have honours degrees. Others have gone on and got bursaries through the CSIR and studied to become masters or PhDs, etc. So we've learnt what works. We've been able to filter out the chances in the system. And I think we've got a process today that works incredibly well, that enables us now to start looking at scaling the model and giving more people a chance.